Now, what if you could turn a boring looking 3D model into a realistic physical model with just few steps? And on top of it, you can also add your section drawing to create a useful and stylized architecture diagram. Well, that's what we are going to see in today's video. What's up, guys? If you don't know me, I am Chandra and I create architecture related content. I found this model in 3D warehouse. I cleaned it a bit according to my liking for the purpose of this video. And you guys can download this model from the link in description to follow along with the video. I had this base model already done, which I did for this video on how to create a macro style render with sketches as overlay. Take a look at that after this video. If you guys can look at the base of the model, I have given a corrugated sheets section as to show its thickness. These minute things add a bit more level of realistic touch to the render. I then added a plane and gave it some thickness. This will be the acrylic sheet which will have the sectional drawing etched in. Then increase the scale or size of the acrylic sheet and the base to give it a proportionate look. Now let's move to D5. Click on import to bring in the model. You can turn off the terrain by clicking on this icon, and once imported, click on it and place it anywhere in the environment. I am going to apply a basic glass material to the plane, and for the base wood I won't be changing the texture map. I am just changing the normal value to reduce the bumpness. Then for the model itself, I applied a white slightly glossy material for all the faces, whatever the detail may be. Either it was a metal I-beam, grill, louvers in the facade. I wanted to give a feel as if it was made using styrofoam or PVC sheets. For the glass facade, I gave frosted glass so that it's differentiated from the acrylic sheet in the front. Later, I didn't like the whole model being pure white, so I added a light beige tint or off-white to all the surface which was previously white. I wanted the acrylic sheet to have a different color for its edge. The actual name for this phenomenon is called thin film interference, but who cares? So I went back to SketchUp and gave a different material just for the thickness. So I can give a different tint of glass in D5. I also wanted to add some people in the same style, as in like a cardboard cutout. You can see how to create them from scratch where I have explained them in detail in this video, or you can also download them from our store without any hidden charges for completely free. You will get more than 15 individual people, 6 vehicles and few trees and plants in this pack, which are ready to use. But for this video I will be using only 2. You can copy the ones that you want and place them inside the main model. And for tip of the day, when you are rendering any model in Macworld physical style, treat it as a physical model. So you have to scale it down so that it's in the exact physical model size. Because of that, we need to scale down the cardboard people accordingly. I brought another one and scaled it to match the previous cutout and placed it. Save this and go back to D5 and reload the model by clicking on this icon. Once it's reloaded, we can continue our work. I copied the glass material and applied it to the edge and changed its tint in base color to some green shade. Now let's move to the section drawing on the acrylic sheet. I drafted this in CAD and brought it into Photoshop. The section might look detailed, but I don't know what half of them even means. Since this was for the video, I just placed random callouts and labeled them. When you guys do this for your project, you will be adding in a properly detailed drawing. Now I'm exporting it into a PNG. And inside SketchUp, I made a copy of the front face of the acrylic sheet and moved it to a distance of 3 mm. I also created a new material and loaded the section PNG as texture. Then I adjusted the size of the texture to match it properly to the model behind it. You may need to zoom in and move it to position it exactly. Make sure to apply same material for both sides of the plane. Save this and go to D5 and once again reload the SketchUp file. This is when I realized I want the section drawing to be in white and not in black. So I had to go back to Photoshop and hit Ctrl I to invert the image and export it again. I also moved the cutout characters so that it's not hidden by the text. Then save the SketchUp and reload it in D5. Then select the section drawing and load the white PNG as texture. Now as the model is done, let's start setting up the lighting. Set an angle that you like, and when you want it to look like a small object, you must keep the focal length higher than 50 mm. So mine is somewhere around 140. I also turned on 2 point perspective or orthogonal view and saved it as a scene. For the lighting, I brought the sun down completely and created a new layer for lights and placed a rectangle plane light or key light straight above the model and increased its size to give it a more uniform fill and reduced its intensity to 1 to make it soft. I brought the sun even down to make the background pitch dark. I reduced the light's intensity to zero point 0.1 and placed the spotlight at an angle and its intensity as 1. I was still tweaking the rectangle light's intensity. The values which I am using here are not rigid or fixed. You can try different values and go with the ones that suit your project or your liking. Once I was happy, I updated the scene. I also changed the wood texture of the base. Use triplanar when you are applying material over any box or closed geometry. It helps in texture wrapping. Scale the texture so that it looks like a plywood board or box. I also set up some other scenes and added some depth of field and rendered them. These are the final results. Hope you found something useful in this video. See you all in the next one.